This is Radio Republic.
Hey guys, it's Jad. So today I'm going to teach you how I dye my hair. First, you bleach your hair, and when your hair is pretty light enough, then you can put on your either semi-permanent or permanent color. Semi-permanent dye is a lot harder to find in the Philippines than permanent dye is. Permanent dye requires another ingredient in order to work, which is oxidizing lotion. Oxidizing lotion is basically something that you mix in with permanent dye and with bleach. Oxidizing lotion is basically this formula that contains a lot of hydrogen peroxide, and when you put it on your hair, it lifts pigment molecules out of your hair and makes it lighter. And in the process, it makes your hair weaker, so that's where you get damaged, fried, over bleached hair. That happens if you leave your bleach on too long, or if you leave your semi-permanent dye on too long. First of all, how to mix up your bleach. When I mix up my bleach, let me show you what bleach looks like. Bleach looks like a bluish powder. And usually I take about 2 spoonfuls and I put it in a plastic bowl. Whatever amount of bleach I took, that's the amount of oxidizing lotion that I put in there. So 2 spoonfuls of bleach, 2 spoonfuls of oxidizing lotion, and I mix that all together. And when it reaches a creamy, pasty consistency and a sky blue color, that means it's ready. So you would take a tinting brush, which you can get also at salon supply stores. You dip it into the bleach and then you brush it through your hair, and basically you wait about 20 to 40 minutes depending on how much you want to lift. Keep checking your hair to see if it's the color that you want. You kind of can't just leave the bleach on there forever because you run the risk of damaging your hair. And when you bleach for the first time, you're not gonna get the light color that you want. So if you're starting from virgin black hair, you might have to bleach a couple of times, maybe even 3 times. Personally, I bleached about 4 times to 5 times in the course of a year to get the color that I want, which is sort of like a greenish turquoise. And my hair right now is dark green actually. Another reminder when you're bleaching your hair is don't do it twice. Never, 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 never double process. Double processing means that you bleached your hair and then in the same day you also put on your permanent dye. So that's 2 processes that your hair is probably not going to be able to stand. It's going to break off and fall off, and you'll be bald and you'll hate yourself and people will not like you. I'm just kidding. But that's how serious it is. So you can't over bleach your hair. Seriously, you're gonna regret it. The difference between permanent dye and semi-permanent, this is what it looks like, is that it's just a pigment in a conditioning base. So you don't need to mix oxidizing lotion with this. As long as your hair is bleached, you can put this on. It's not as damaging. So this is just depositing color. This is removing your old color and depositing. I also use gloves when I'm dyeing my hair, and I actually bought a whole box of this because it will stain everything. And you also have to take note of how damaged your hair is. So always be careful when you're dyeing your hair, and use color theory. So if your hair is bleached yellow and you put on a blue dye on it, it's not going to turn blue. Yellow plus blue is going to turn green, so your hair is going to turn green. Unless you tone your hair first or bleach to a white, which I don't recommend because bleaching to a white will almost always end up with people like hacking all their hair off because it's so fried. Violet dye on an orange base, well, violet will cancel out orange. So you're just gonna get a murky brown, like a muddy, icky brown. If my hair is currently green or currently turquoise and I put on a purple dye on it, it's probably gonna turn dark purple. So if you're wondering what your hair color is gonna turn out like, just try, looking at the color wheel and seeing how the colors mix together, and you probably get a pretty close estimate of how it's gonna turn out. So yeah, happy dyeing!